video, I'm going to share how to buy 10 houses with just £50,000. My name's Samuel Leeds, and I've been involved in hundreds of property transactions and been full-time in property for the last 17 years. Now, don't get me wrong, I love buying properties, but there's one thing that I hate. It can be ridiculously slow. It takes years to save for a deposit, and at the end of it, all you've got is one asset. And let's face it, it's not an effective way of building wealth. So in this video, I'm going to show you how it's possible to buy 10 houses with just £50,000. And even if you don't have the £50,000, that's okay. Wait till the end of the video and I'll show you how to get it. It's using this hack that seasoned investors use to scale their property portfolios exponentially and create vast levels of wealth. But before I show you how the rich people do it and what you should do, let me show you what most people do and what not to do. Let's look at the average traditional method of buying. Average UK house price right now is around about £300,000. So if you're buying the normal old school way, you'll typically need a 25% deposit. That's £75,000. Add on stamp duty, which would be another £5,000 at least generally if you're buying an investment property, and legal fees, maybe £1,500. So before you've even got the keys to the front door, you're already looking at spending over £80,000 considerably. And for most people, that's years and years of saving up for just one investment property. How long do you think it would take to buy 10 properties this way? Probably more than a lifetime. So how do you recycle the same money again and again? What is the new way? Well, let's say you start by buying a rundown house. Something that's not in great shape, maybe even uninhabitable. Something that's completely unmortgageable. No one wants it. Maybe the roof is bowing. It's in disrepair. It's got mold, flooding, maybe even Japanese knotweed, possibly, if you know what you're doing. Now, these are good things for the sophisticated property investor. Fixing these problems is where the profit is. Also, given it's so damaged, you have much less competition when purchasing the property in the first place, because your average John and Jane down the road, they'll be either turned off by it or they won't be able to get a mortgage to buy it. There's hundreds of properties boarded up like this that you can purchase up and down the country for maybe just £100,000, maybe less depending on where you buy it. You'll also need some cash for the refurb as it's a bit rough around the edges. So there's maybe another £45,000. So that's £145,000 plus a few £1,000s maybe for legals. Stamp duty potentially is going to be free if it's uninhabitable. So that's about £150,000 all in. Now you might be thinking, 150 grand? I thought you said 50 grand. So before people start lighting up the comment section, there's more to the process. We're going to use bridging finance to complete the project. Bridging finance is similar to a mortgage, but it only covers short-term projects. It's used to bridge the gap between purchase and then either selling or refinancing onto a traditional mortgage. And bridging companies will generally lend you 65% of the purchase price. So they'll give you, on a £100,000 house, £65,000 in the example above. And they'll lend the refurb cost. So you'll need to put £40,000 of your own cash, which will be enough to cover the purchase, refurb, legal fees, and the 1% interest the bridging company will charge. And you're saving on stamp duty if it's uninhabitable. That's another little hack. Now, this is the clever bit. Once the house is done up, it'll be worth a hell of a lot more than it was when you bought it. So if the house from the example above is now valued because you bought it for 100, you've spent 40, 50 grand on it, it's now worth 200. Now we're able to get a mortgage on the property after we've purchased. This is a refinance, and we'll get 75% of the new value, which is 150 grand. So we're getting all our money back. So you go to the bank or speak to a mortgage broker and ask for a mortgage based on the new value, which is called the post-refurb valuation. Most lenders will offer you up to 75% of that new value. 75% loan to value. So if you change the value, you change the loan that you can get. So the 75% of 200,000 is £150,000. The bank now gives you a mortgage of £150,000. You originally spent 100 to buy it, and £50,000 for all the other fees and the refurb. So you've pulled out all the money you spent, paid back your bridging loan, and you have a newly refurbished property ready to be rented out at top whack. Now, all you do now is find another property. You do it again and again and again and again. And before long, you've got yourself 10 properties all being rented out and making you more cash that you can then invest in bigger projects, but using the same structure, all made possible with the same recycled £50,000. And that's how people scale fast in property. It's not about saving up a huge deposit every time and putting it in to a property and then working harder, saving up. That is the slow, old school way that doesn't work in 2025. It's about being smart, finding the right deals, adding value, and recycling your cash. Now, you might be thinking, but Samuel, I don't even have the £50,000. Okay, well, how much do you have? 10, 20, 30? Nothing? Well, here's the really cool part. Even if you don't have the £50,000, you can borrow that from a joint venture partner. You can borrow it from a friend, a family member, take it out as a loan. And the amazing thing is that when you're buying on a bridging loan, the bridging company doesn't care where your deposit comes from, as long as it's not dirty money that you're trying to whitewash or something like that. If it's a genuine investor putting the money in, if it's a family member putting the money in, if it's a partner, they don't care. Whereas a mortgage company will, which means that you can get that money from a partner, you can get a bridge, but then when you refinance, you pay back the partner, you pay back the bridge. And if there's not enough profit in the deal to pay back with all the interest, then you let the partner become a joint venture owner of the property, because owning 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. I'd rather do this with joint ventured finance and buy 2 or 3 properties in the next few months than keep saving up to hopefully buy one day myself. If this has opened your eyes up as to what's possible, then I'd love to invite you to come and meet me at the Property Investors Crash Course for £1, where I'll show you more hacks on how to do this and how to build wealth, creating a property empire. I'm also going to introduce you to a bunch of people that are doing this. I'll show you a lot of my projects, my commercial units, my hotels, factories, residential properties as case studies. And what we'll do on the day is we'll be working on trying to find you your next deal and find you your next partner. So if you're watching this video and for the sake of £1, you decide, nah, actually I can't be bothered, then that's fine. You can continue the old school way. But the divide between the rich and poor is getting bigger and bigger. So I invite you right now to click the link below, come and spend the day with me and join the rich in 2025. I'll see you there.